And g'day mate, how the bloody hell are ya? This is in the Back of My Head podcast, episode 54! It's a little weekly creative journal where I talk about what's on my mind, about creativity, things that I'm looking up, things that I'm seeing on the internet, things that are just bouncing around inside my skull, my tiny little head. Let's get into it. I've been adrift on some ambient waves as of late. As mentioned on another episode, the YouTube algorithm has been dishing me up some obscure records, albums. Pick a decade, pick a country, pick a genre. There is underground finds, underground hidden gems that the internet is saving from obscurity. And I think that's wonderful. It's very exciting. And one I found recently, Hiroyuki Togo, Aquacycle, from 1997, uploaded June 17th, 2024 by Should Be Asleep. Very recent little upload. And I jumped down there in the comments, and the top comment was, I am Hiroyuki Togo, the composer of this CD. Remember CDs? This CD was created 27 years ago and is difficult to obtain even in Japan. I'm very happy that everyone can listen to it again like this. Thank you. I'd also like to consider uploading it to Spotify or similar in the future. Below is a J-pop song I created and released in 2023. Still going, still doing it. It is sung by Sana, a singer who was once popular in the music game Beatmania. I hope you will also listen to this. This guy was a composer on the Beatmania soundtrack. I've not played Beatmania, but many have. Many have lost many hours to such a game. And if you read the comment sections on this video, and videos like it, people are picking up on that kind of stuff. People are like, hang on, is this the guy that did the soundtrack for Beatmania? Yes it is. And in fact, here he is. I want this episode is almost no, the rest of this episode I don't think will be, but in a way this is sort of a companion piece to my Postmortem Fame podcast a couple weeks ago, a few weeks, maybe a month ago now. All about artists not getting the fame they might deserve until they're dead. And the question of, is that actually sad? Or should they just be making art regardless of how it is received? Which, you know, in a idealistic world, yeah, probably. But it is good to see people get the recognition, get to see people enjoying it. And what I like about this is Hiroyuki is saying, Godspeed, my friends. Listen to my record. I made this thing 27 years ago, and you can't even bloody buy it anymore in Japan, the original country in which it was made. How much music is out there that is lost, that is unattainable by legal means? And so thank God that it is uploaded to YouTube for free for all to hear. And I like his attitude towards that, the preservation, just the easy access to art and to culture. The reason I bring this up is to tie a few things that I've seen happening on the internet recently together. A few headlines, a few happenings, a few momentary blips in time that are deemed significant by many and certainly by myself. First headline, and I would dare say the most important headline here, is the Internet Archive had to remove 500,000 books from its servers. Now, the Internet Archive, if you don't know, which I think you should know, the Internet Archive is a non-profit based in the US of A, and their mission is to archive the internet. They archived their first web page in 1996. They started archiving the internet, a pretty brand new medium at that point, a brand new format, one that was, in one sense, timeless, things couldn't last on the internet sort of forever, you know? You can upload something to the internet 20 years ago onto some random website, and as long as the servers are running, it's still there. It is discoverable. Perhaps more difficult if, say, you printed a book and only did a run of 10 books, 20 books, and maybe some of them got lost. How the fuck do you find those individual books? That's a monumental task. And there's the point of libraries and archival ventures such as this. And so they started archiving the internet, but then they went beyond that. It's a digital library. They're archiving books, they're archiving audio, films, lectures, you know, anything. YouTube videos. People can upload whatever they want. People upload their own YouTube videos to the Internet Archive just so that it exists somewhere in a way that perhaps will last, that will actually survive the test of time. Of course it won't. The idea of it lasting forever is of course absurd, as is any venture of humanity's to last forever, you know? Everything's gonna crumble. I mean, the point is though, the Internet Archive was sued by publishers of books. And they were sued by these publishers, and the publishers won. And so now, the Internet Archive has had to remove 500,000 books. These are not Harry Potter. These are not the novelization of Star Wars Episode 1. These are not cultural, zeitgeisty kind of books, you know, existing in the now. These are a lot of books that are like, it's 500,000 books, so it's hard to say. I don't know what all of them are. But I will say that within these 500,000 books, there are a lot of things like textbooks, things that you might need for schooling. And the Internet Archive provides a digital library service so that people that don't have access to said books can now access them. And this is not just for the United States, but this is all around the world. People in countries where these resources are not nearly as readily available, especially to the impoverished, then here you go. You got an internet connection, you got a library, my friend, here are the books. And the publishers said, nay, we want more money. They could not, and they did not, in court, demonstrate any real market impact on their profits. They couldn't, or at least, maybe they can. You'd think if they could, they would though, wouldn't you? But they didn't. They didn't in the court. And that's, so Internet Archive is fighting back. They're going to appeal the decision. Based on that, as far as from my brief reading, is that we want, if they think that we're hurting their market value, first of all, go fuck yourself because we're a library, you cunts. Like, that's the whole fucking point. Go fuck yourself. Second of all, though, fucking prove it. Fucking prove it, and then maybe we can have a discussion. But until then, the Internet Archive, their slogan is a mission statement. Our mission is to provide universal access to all knowledge. Books aren't a product. And this is going to be a bit loose. This is going to be a bit esoteric in a sense. But books aren't a product. Books are data storage. They're more than that, obviously. They hold stories, they hold tales, they hold ideas, they hold human thoughts in word format. But they are data storage. They're our first. No, not our first. They are probably our first transferable data storage system, you know? That was one of humans' biggest evolutionary steps. You're sharing knowledge with other people. You can have a thought, you can have an idea, you can figure something out, you can figure out how to make bread from wheat. And you can pass that down one by one through the generations, all well and good. But what if you wrote it down? What if you wrote that shit down and then passed that book around? Sent that book overseas, and now people are like, oh, now we can make bread. I mean, everyone's making bread. It's a bad example, but you know what I mean? Let's invent a windmill. Let's invent all kinds of things. Let's invent batteries and ride that shit down. And it got me thinking about like how quickly things can be lost. If we didn't have knowledge written down about how to make a phone, how to make an iPhone. Imagine if we everyone on the planet right now who knows how to make an iPhone, if they just disappear, if they all disappear, and then all the written work about how to make computer software and computer hardware disappears, we start from scratch again. There's no fucking chance. No fucking chance. How long is it going to take us? No, I know that's an obvious thing to say. It's an obvious thing to say, but when you take something like this and you boil it down, you reduce it, you simmer it on a stove for a little while, you reduce it down to its core concept. That's what it is. That's what it is. This is human revolutionary ideas of how to make things, how to change political systems, how to connect with our loved ones, how to better yourself, all kinds of things. How to cure diseases. Imagine writing a textbook that might help teach the next generation on how to cure diseases, or inspire new doctors in new ways of thinking, or at least give them the foundation so they can go on and save lives. And you say, hey, you're not allowed to just have that for free though. That comes at a price. Not just a price of entry due to the costs of the paper and the ink and the time to make it. Nay. I also need a little something, you know? I need a little change in my pocket. I need a new feather in my cap, my friend. You are taking, it's abstract in a way, isn't it? But like, you're taking people's lives, future saved lives, into your hands and saying, I need a profit off that, motherfucker. Hey, fuck you. Hey, fuck you. A lot of these books, they aren't even available anymore. They're not even in print. This brings me to my second thing. I saw an article. This one's actually from 2023, so looking a little further back. But I wanted to tie this one in because I'm an Australian. I'm a fucking Aussie. You know what Aussies love to do? We love to pirate shit. We love to pirate shit. And you know why we love to pirate shit? It's not because of money. I'll tell you that. I'm pretty broke, granted, but like, Australia has one of the, I think we're in the top 10 of highest disposable income per capita. We've got money to throw around, at least at a Netflix subscription. But it's not just a Netflix subscription, is it? It's a Netflix subscription, it's a Stan subscription, it's a Disney Plus subscription, it's a fucking Hulu. Is that here? I don't know. Is that here? I don't know. In Australia, there is so much content that is just not available. Is just not available in our territory. I think people probably don't experience this as much in other countries. At least, like in America, people don't experience it nearly as much. The words, "This is not available in your region." We see that every fucking day. We see that all the goddamn time. There are so many shows and movies that we will look up and go, oh, I'd like to watch that. Where can I watch that? Oh, it's only available to rent for like $60 for one season. Go fuck yourself. Or it's just not available at all because the rights haven't been obtained by any streaming service to give it to you. And so we're like, well, what the fuck are we gonna do? You could go to Foxtel. That's an insane fee. An insane price. There is price, but it's mainly access. It's mainly access. This article was saying that there has been an uptick in piracy in Australia. It was going down, and then it went back up again. And that was in 2023. I was thinking to myself, what happened in 2023? Like, what's been happening in like the last 3 years? That's streaming services. When it was just Netflix, we were like, yeah, cool, I'll pay $10 and I'll get some movies. Sweet. Great. I'm happy with that. But then, if you say, oh yes, but you also need a Disney Plus and a Hulu and a how do you do, and a didgeridoo. What the fuck ever you need. All of these streaming services, and you're like, what, now I'm spending $80? $80 a month? No thank you. I'll pirate that shit, baby. Of course I'm gonna pirate that shit. Go fuck yourself. If it's easy, if it's convenient, if it's cheap, we'll pay for it. You know what industry hasn't seen that? Hasn't seen the uptick in piracy? In fact, it's seen continued decline, is the gaming industry. And the gaming industry has a few things up its sleeves. I think like Xbox Game Pass, fucking brilliant. Again, pay $10. Here's 100+ games. Good. Happy with that. Good games as well, you know? We got Halos, we got Dooms, we got all kinds of shit. Great. There's downsides. You don't own anything. Yeah, it's a separate argument, but still, nonetheless. And also Steam. Steam is easy, Steam is cheap. People are happy to throw their money at some shit. The piracy is a bit of a separate issue, but it comes down to access. It comes down to access at every turn. We're talking about two different things here, though. Because textbooks on how to learn how to cure diseases, that should be free. That should be free. Schooling should be free. All right. We're getting too wide. We're sticking on the access to information. And this other thing, movies, video games, music, this is a culture. You could argue maybe less important. I would say accessing the latest Star Wars show is less important than accessing the textbooks on how to cure cancer. I understand that. But culture is the soul of the collective, is the soul of the people. And to lock that away behind a paywall, I think is equally as egregious. The fact that the Internet Archive is being sued by publishers shows to me, and watch me paint with my broad brush. Look out for this statement. But I would say that this is a clear sign that under capitalism, make no mistake, if brick and mortar libraries weren't already an established thing, they'd be sued out of existence. It's actually kind of shocking that, I mean, how many industries, to now throw some shade on the gaming industry wanted to kill. They were trying to kill the used game market. They said, oh, we don't want you to pay half price. We want you to pay for everything again. Please, thank you, and so much. And this is not an argument about should artists be paid for their work, because we're not talking about that. This is not that argument, which is always kind of the thing that gets thrown at these things. The piracy one especially, people will be like, hey, what, you don't want to pay for movies? Go fuck yourself. People have to make those movies. Like, yeah, I know, I understand that. But we're not paying for those people to be working. We're not paying their salary. We're paying insane profits to major corporations. And these publishers aren't saying, hey, you're taking money out of the pockets of our writers. They are saying that. But if you read between the lines, these books aren't available. A lot of these books aren't even available, especially not in the countries that that some people are accessing these books from. So it's like, well, if you wanted the authors to get money, then you would publish these books and make them accessible and cheap in that area. But they don't. And then they cry murder when they're being when people are giving away their shit for free. It's a bit of a black and white statement, but I think art being plugged into capitalism is bad. No excuses, no buts. I mean, I think capitalism is bad, obviously. But art being plugged into capitalism, they are completely antithetical to one another. Completely antithetical to one another. The third or fourth and final kind of like article or happening that I saw recently was someone posted, oh, I love pirating indie games on Twitter, and in the background was them downloading a game called Ultra Kill. And this is not what I am supporting. I'm not supporting piracy of indie games, of indie movies, indie books, what have you. Artists do have to eat. That's not part of the argument. But the response to it was the person who makes that game responded to that tweet and said, as a creator of said game, you should support indies if you can. But culture shouldn't exist only for those who can afford it. Ultra Kill wouldn't exist if I hadn't had easy access to movies, music, and games growing up. If you don't have money, you can support via word of mouth. Culture shouldn't exist only for those who can afford it. I don't think it's a bold statement to say that all art and culture and information should be readily available to all of humanity. It's a difficult one of like, because I don't think that means that like everyone should just give away their art for free. But in a way, the issue there is that you have to be making a living off of your art. That doesn't make any sense to me. I want to do it. I would like to do it. But to paywall the art isn't there to make money. Art isn't there to make profit. I want to eat. I want a house. I want electricity. I want an internet connection. I want some booze. I want some basic necessities to get by in life. But I don't want to profit off of my art. And I think art being plugged into a machine that is designed solely to make profit is impossible for it to exist without its soul being destroyed. I remember in a political science quiz. Remember the political compass quiz a little while back? On the political science quiz, there was a question. If a museum isn't making enough money to be profitable, should the government still fund it? And who the fuck would say no to that? Yeah, of course. If it's not making any money, cut it. That's sick to me. That's twisted to me. That can only be answered by someone who sees no value beyond money, does not understand value of culture, does not understand the value of information at all, has no concept beyond profit. This is the only way of seeing that, and I am being very over the top and flippant, but I keep going over this kind of shit, and I keep encountering having discussions with people about different systems of society. Be it capitalism, communism, anarchism, whatever you want. Pick a thing, doesn't matter. But at my core, whenever it comes down to profit as a motive or as a measurement of value, something disconnects for me. Because that is not... It's not value. It holds no real value. The only real values in this world are physical resources, culture, knowledge. It's just people. It's just people and resources. That's the only things that actually hold any intrinsic value. Profit is completely made up. It's completely fabricated. And is controlled by elite people. I was thinking about like an ideal solution. Just an example, an ideal solution, just as a place of like, hey, this is actually what I would like to see. This is actually what I would like to see. I don't want to just like fucking have a bitch and a moan about like, I just want everything for free. Here's what I would like to see. This is because I've been fighting with Spotify recently in my brain. I'm sick of it as a platform. I think it's a shit platform. I don't even as an artist and as a consumer of it, I find it a terrible platform. But it's the biggest platform. It's the biggest platform for music. And I've been thinking about it, and I was like, what would this look like if it was brilliant? What would a brilliant version of Spotify look like? And I was thinking, this is the place where I would like a government that actually understands the true value of culture, the true value of art, and says, if you are providing a service that is music, that is art, that is movies, that is what have you. It is a legal requirement that you only take as much money as you need to run correctly. That could still include a little bit of expansion. We're going to expand our services. We're going to improve our services. We're going to take a little bit of money for that. But if we catch you taking if we take you skimming off the top, no, not interested. Not interested. That money goes to the artists. Any sense of profit goes straight back into the artists. That's all that happens. And then I would like to see a voting system for all the artists and potentially for the audience as well to vote on how the platform would actually run. To dictate how the platform would actually run. Very democratic. This is stupid, man. What the fuck am I talking about? But this is what I've been thinking about. This is where I've been at recently. When I'm reading these things about anti-piracy and archival libraries getting sued by publishers, Spotify taking more money out of the pockets of artists and just keeping it. Art and capitalism are completely antithetical to each other. They cannot exist. They cannot coexist. It destroys the soul of art. And I'll hear nothing other than that. Come at me with an argument other than that. Go fuck yourself. Alright, mate, look. We've had a fun time, haven't we? Haven't we had a good time? Really got into some political stuff. Danced around some socialist ideas. Hey, if you enjoyed this, it's funny, like saying all this and then plugging a Patreon. There is irony there. But I'd like to eat. If you like what I do, you can throw me some bucks on Patreon. But I tell you what, the art is for free. Oh, it's easy to say when I don't make money, isn't it? It's easy to say when I don't make money doing this shit. But I think about it a lot. And I think the idea of like paywalling music or a podcast or anything, even the gigs that I run, putting ticket prices on it always feels, I don't know about it. I just don't know about it. My dream is to fund those in some other way so that it's freely accessible to everyone. That's the goal. We'll see how we get there. That's the podcast. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.